Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. As always, of course, and if you did not know, I'm Jordan, and I am just a bitch on the internet. I like to talk about whatever the fuck I want to, and sometimes I play video games. Today, I'm here to talk to you guys about the new episode of Baddies USA Chapter 2, Episode 14, a new baddies in town. Why can't I get that out? I literally cannot. Now, before we get into it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely subscribe because when we hit 100 subscribers, I will be giving you guys a full cast ranking from Bad Girls Club. So definitely subscribe if you want to see that. With that, let's go ahead and get right into it. So I actually kind of lied. Before I talk about the episode, I did want to very briefly talk about, I guess, what's going around online right now in regards with Miss Scotty with the body and the CEO of the network. You guys know I call him Randall over here. I will be calling him Randall. So, I mean, there's been a lot of different things about them unfollowing each other, people saying that they're not together anymore. That's neither here nor there. What the conversation that I don't like is all of the people saying that, like, even if they are broken up, it doesn't matter because Scotty got the bag. Scotty got the bag. She's winning. She da-di-da-di-da. And it's concerning. It's concerning. Holy cow, what the fuck is happening? Because if they are broken up, which, like I said, is neither here nor there. If they are, that does not, like, Scotty having a baby with this man does not secure a future for herself. And I feel like people are really missing that. Like, it does not secure a future for herself. It doesn't even secure anything financially for herself. It secures financial things for her child. Like, they are not married, and that's fine. I don't give a shit. I don't care if you're married or not and having kids. I don't care. That's your own prerogative. Don't care. But what that would mean in this situation is that literally Scotty does not have any legal claim to any of Randall's assets. Not a single penny. Not a single dime. Like, yes, Randall would need to be paying child support for that baby depending on what their custody agreement would be looking like. What I'm getting at is that even if it gets to a point where Randall has to pay, like, legally has to pay child support to Scotty, he still doesn't have to do that. He still doesn't have to do that in a world where there are plenty of deadbeat dads going around that do not pay their child support. There are thousands. You can count them by the fucking dozen. There are so many. We're talking about Randall, okay? This is a man who doesn't even have to pay taxes. This man has allegedly, and I'm going to, I'll link some videos in the description box below if you guys don't know how, the Zeus Network came to be. I will link some videos in the description box below that you can watch to get some more information on that. We're talking about a man here who figured out loopholes to where he doesn't even have to pay taxes on his own company that he owns. He does not, none of that. What he did do was he's forcing the people who he kicked out, like the part owners that he owned the network with originally, he forced them out and he is making them pay for the taxes on a network that they don't even own legally. And Mr. Randall's over here not paying a lick on it. And the owners, this is something that they are still trying to fight in court to this day to not pay this tax money. So in what way is Scotty winning? And I'm concerned for her. Like, and that's where this is coming from. It's coming from a place of concern, ultimately. It's coming from a place of concern. It's coming from a place of, I'm concerned for these other people in these comments that are saying, oh, she had a baby, she had the bag. That does not secure her. Her having a baby with this man does not secure her. It does not. I don't know. I guess at the end of the day, you guys know I've come for Scotty before, especially with the main things I come for her about is the baby. Because I don't like how the baby was literally on episodes, unblurred, mind you, unblurred, don't like that. And I also don't like how she was trying to she literally said out of her own mouth, she was actively trying to get pregnant while she was still on Baddies. I think that's a big fucking issue. I also don't like how she was pregnant while on chapter 1. Those are the biggest issues that I have with Scotty. If she is going to be going through a period where there will be a separation, she is going to have to now figure out how to secure that bag for herself from now on. And all I have to say is that if we do see her on Baddies again, I give you guys my word, I will not be coming for her. I will not come for her head. I will not. Because like I said, I think that she is now going to be in a position where she does have to figure out how to secure that future for her daughter herself. We're going to see her be doing some other things to try and, generate some income, I think. Like I said, I'm not even fully sure on if they are fully separated or not. But if they are, I don't know. Give her some grace. She's going to be needing to get some, I don't know, you guys. I don't know. It's just a really, really messy situation. And I guess how people are acting about it in the comments kind of makes me feel sick to my stomach, I guess. And I think I just needed to talk about it a little bit. Like, I don't know. You guys let me know if you're there with me. It just makes me feel a little sick in my comments that people are like, oh, well, at least she secured the bag. And it's like, how do you know that? Like, she literally did not. Anyway, let's actually get into this episode, which was kind of more of a filler episode, if anything. Like, I won't lie, it was more of a filler episode. So our episode really started with all the baddies arriving at the venue for their show in Dallas, one of their big concert shows. You know, they were just arriving to the venue in Dallas. While the baddies were trying to do their thing at the booking, Big Lex wanted to get mad over Fauna shooting her dirty looks. Fauna was kind of just like looking over her shoulder, like trying to mean mug Lex whenever she saw her, and Lex wasn't liking it. They did have a small argument about it, but they did not fight at the booking as Lex decided to remove herself from the event and she left. Low-key random as hell, like literally random as fuck. I was like, whoa. Did I miss 10 seconds or something? We got an outro interview segment from Stunner Girl. And it was like her interview segment, her talking head, where she's like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna be leaving Baddies. Like, I'm an entertainer, like popping her shit, right? And it's like, It was actually so random to me. So it was like, so you're done performing then? Because I know we've still got more show left. So then this is your end of the road right here. Okay. And then it was like, I don't even know if she necessarily needed an outro segment because it wasn't even like she was actually a part of the show. Stunner Girl, in my head, Stunner Girl is a part of the concert part, the bookings. She's a baddie when it comes to that, and that's fine. But I don't think that she needs the time or space on the TV show then, especially because she doesn't add anything. She adds when it comes to their concert value, their actual like entertainment on stage. And so I don't know if her having an outro interview, it was just random. It was random, especially with how they put it. It was just fucking random. The next day, Natalie met with some of the baddies, that being Rolly, Cold Killa, DTB, and Lex, to, in her words, get on the same page of no weapons and no outsiders. And that's honestly such a weird fucking sentiment because you would think that they would say something about that in their contracts, and that's when everybody should be on the same page. Everybody should be on the same page about that when the baddies sign their contracts before they start filming. That's when everybody should be on the same page. In this conversation, Killa said that the taser was actually meant for Dolly. Now, Dolly, this was something that I thought about at the moment because Dolly, in my opinion, has done worse things to Cold Killa, and in my opinion, Cold Killa should want the smoke to the up like times a bajillion more than she does with Tinkerbella. Like, even on chapter 1, Dolly said some horrendous, heinous things about Cold Killa's daughter, and so honestly, yeah, at the end, I do not condone tasing at all, but at the end of the day, if Killa was to be extremely violent towards somebody, it would make more sense for it to be towards Dolly than anybody, literally anybody else on the cast, purely because of the things that Dolly said. The things that Dolly said is shit that just should never come out of anybody's mouth, even if you are living in hell. It shouldn't come out of your mouth, period, point blank. It just should not. So I was kind of shocked when Killa did do that to Tink. I was like, what the fuck? Like, what? But you do not have this energy at all for Dolly. So in this conversation, Killa did make it be known that she was meaning the taser. Taser itself was particularly meant for Dolly, but she said that Dolly wasn't there, so she used it on Tinka, and that's the part that doesn't make any fucking sense. It makes no sense. It already makes no sense, and it's already fucking literally deplorable to be tasing somebody, especially in this situation, but then for Cold Killa to literally say that it was meant for somebody else, and because she wasn't there, she just decided to use it on someone else she had beef with. Like, that makes no sense. Like, no sense. It seems like Tinkerbella literally caught a stray just because Dolly wasn't there, and that's fucked up. Like, that is so fucked up to me. It couldn't stop at like, Dolly's not here, so I'm just not gonna use the taser. It should have stopped there. It should have stopped there, and it didn't. What the fuck is that? And if I was in that conversation with, that's what I would have said. I said, so why did you feel the need to then use it on Tinka? That doesn't make sense. So the only reason she used it on Tinkerbella, in my opinion, this is in my opinion because it doesn't make sense. This is in my opinion. The only reason she then used it on Tinkerbella is because she still wanted to use it. She probably thought in her head, I brought this taser. Dolly's not here for me to use it on. I'm still gonna use it tonight. And that's fucked. Like, that is fucked up. It is so fucked up. And the fact that she says it so fucking blasé, like, she says it with the cadence as if it's another day at the nail salon. Like, yeah, the nail tech I wanted wasn't there, so I went to go this other one. What? You tased her. I don't know. I definitely think that Cold Killa should have been reprimanded more by Natalie on camera. I think that it needs to set a precedent. Okay, I think that there needs to be a precedent set that there is absolutely no weapons and that what Cold Killa did was fucking wrong. It was so fucking wrong. Natalie then made it be known that she was not happy with the taser or the bottle that was thrown. If you don't remember, Summer also followed up by throwing a bottle at Tinkerbella after she was tased, which was also fucking not okay. The girls then talked about what happened at the line dancing activity, and then DTB voiced her opinion on how she felt that Emery should have done more for TT, and at this point it's like, I don't really give a shit. I don't give a shit. I do not care about all these other fucking people's opinions on this beef that I saw with my own eyes. I saw the scene with my own fucking eyes. I don't give a shit if you think that she didn't help enough. She was helping. The whole argument is that TT said she didn't do anything. And then when TT found out that Emery did do something, she wanted to backtrack because she didn't want to take back her words and say, oh, I'm sorry. She wanted to backtrack and then say you didn't do enough. Because at first it was you didn't do anything. And then when she found out that Emery did do something, it wasn't you didn't do enough though. So I do not care how DTB feels about it. I don't care. I don't care that DTB feels like Emery should have, could have, whatever the fuck. Because TT doesn't even know what she's fucking mad about. She really doesn't. Natalie ended this meeting by telling the girls that some replacements would be coming in and that Rolly would have to, unfortunately, to my dismay, because you guys know I hate when Rolly is the main bitch in charge. Anyway, Rolly would have to facilitate that as Natalie and Cold Killer would be gone. We then saw a second group of baddies form in a house to talk about different things. This group consisted of Mariah, E.T., Ivory, Bahati, Neek, Kanaya, and Egypt. E.T. wanted to talk about how some of the newer castmates hadn't been in scenes or they hadn't been like vocal enough in other scenes. And in an interview, Neek took this as E.T. saying that they weren't getting in the paint and then proceeded to say that the OGs were the ones that weren't getting in the paint. And I don't think that's what E.T. necessarily meant. I just think that she meant like in general, you're just not in the scene, you're not participating in the conversation, you're just not there, but you're absent. And that's what E.T. was saying. She wasn't saying that you necessarily are fighting every 5 seconds. I don't think that's what she meant. Now, if that is what she meant, I'm sorry. Girl, I'm sorry. Then she's weird. I don't know. Egypt then started to talk about her beef she had with Kanaya, and I guess they supposedly squashed it off camera. E.T. then asked if the cabaret girls felt like they, quote, left their mark, and when Egypt tried to say that she was proud of what she had done on the show, E.T. said that she just got a free paycheck. It kind of felt like that E.T. was more so mad that they are on the same platform and that they could be getting paid something similar, and E.T. is having to do more than the other girls. And I think that's where this frustration is coming from. Trust me, if I were in that position, I'd be mad too. I'd be like, why do I have to do more and I have to pop my shit more for the same type of money as these girls and they don't have to do dick, you know? Trust me, I would feel it. But I do think that that's the only reason why E.T. is upset. Anyway, the conversation quickly flipped to talk about E.T. fighting Dolly at the line dancing activity, and they ultimately left the group conversation there. Tommy had a sit-down scene with Pressure and TT so that they could really get to know each other more. Tommy also talked about how she loves Summer, but she's low-key getting tired of Summer, which I think we can all agree with. Summer is a lot. Now, in this conversation, Pressure tried to tell Tommy that she was actually in jail with Tommy's mom, as Pressure actually served 8 years in jail. And she was like, you know, trying to get to know Tommy, and it seemed like she was trying to bond with Tommy over just like knowing her mom from jail, a place that's kind of intimate if you ask me, like not in a romantic way, but intimate in like a we're close in each other's business and it's stripped down prison type of way. That's what I mean by intimate. Tommy took this the wrong way because the way that Pressure wanted to phrase it was in Pressure said that she was taking care of Tommy's mom in jail, and that Tommy's mom had alluded to the fact that she had a strained relationship with Tommy, her daughter, and Tommy took this in the wrong way. And honestly, I think Tommy also solidified what Pressure said, because Tommy in an interview clip said, not even in an interview clip, she said to Pressure that out of all of the siblings, her mom likes her the least, but she said that in a way trying to prove that she does take care of her mom, and so like why would their relationship be strained and all of these things. But it's like, it seems like that might have been the vibe, that you guys do have a strained relationship, and it's okay. It's okay to have a strenuous relationship with your parents. That's okay. But Tommy took this as disrespect because she took it as Pressure trying to say that Tommy never took care of her mom and still doesn't take care of her mom. And Tommy takes offense to that because Tommy, in Tommy's own words, she does take care of her mom. She just bought her a house for her mom, blah, 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 does take care of her mom. So Tommy felt the need to call her mom to verify the prison story and like everything when it was weird. I don't think she needed to call her mom to verify any of that, especially when on the phone she was like, oh yeah, do you know this girl named, she was calling Pressure something else, but not Pressure. I think she was calling her Precious. She was like, oh, she went by Precious in jail, Precious. And she's like, no, it's Pressure. And she kept saying Precious. And it's like, Tommy, can you not hear? Can you not hear? The part of actually calling her mom and then putting her mom on the spot, that was weird. Regardless, TT was mute this whole conversation, literally sat there just mute up until the very end, where she said that Rolly had invited them out to the club, and they did end the conversation there to go out to the club, even though Tommy did have reservations because Rolly was the one that invited them. Persuasion had this stupid little sit down. I won't lie, it was a little stupid. She had a sit down, they weren't actually sitting down, they were walking around town, with Ciroc, Emery, and Fauna, and she had this scene just to tell them that she'd be leaving the show, as she felt as though she has outgrown Baddies. The reason why I say this is stupid is because this should have been a scene that was had in chapter 1. If this scene happened in chapter 1, it would make so much more sense to happen in chapter 1 and doesn't come on chapter 2. The final sit down was with Tinka and Rolly, where Tinka said that she'd be leaving Baddies due to the escalated weaponry that was used against her, and that does make sense. Tinka also just had a daughter not too long ago, and it's like, y'all are really coming at her a type of crazy. I might have to take a break too. If I were her, I might take a break. Getting tased by a taser that wasn't meant for you, and then immediately getting smacked up the head with a bottle right after. Girl, I would need a second. The Baddies did make their way out to the club to turn up until Rolly had the ladies chill out to say that they would be bringing in 4 new replacements plus Bro-rilla. Before the new baddies came in, Rolly asked the girls who they thought should go home, and they all talked about Wet possibly going home, which I understand. She hasn't given a lot, but I do like when she's there. I like when she's funny, but that's just me. I understand people wanting her to go, though. I understand it. They also talked about Neek going home as well, as they felt like she was just kind of hiding behind Bahati, and I do kind of agree. Like, Neek is a big personality, and she was so much of a bigger personality on the cabaret, and she's just not showing that on baddies, in my opinion. When Rolly told the group that Tinka would be leaving due to the weapons, DTB said that she thinks that Killa should have to leave as well. And I do kind of agree with that. You could it rubbed Fauna the wrong way, because Fauna was like, what? As her and Killa are friends. But I do kind of agree. Like, I really think that Killa should be in a baddies timeout. Like, they did that to Biggie a lot, where they put her in a baddies timeout or whatever the fuck. And I think Killa should be in the baddies timeout. I do. I do. Bro-rilla walked in and immediately went to hug on Lex, as she was her favorite baddie. Rolly very quickly asked Bro-rilla about the beef that she has with her own sister, that being Glorilla, if you did not know. Rolly was being shady, as she is allegedly friends with Glorilla, and so she was just kind of being shady towards Bro-rilla, being like, you know, why are you beefing, so and so and so, just like kind of talking about beef that does not involve her. They did end that conversation, and Bro-rilla took the chance to cozy up next to Lex so that Rolly could proceed to say that she would be bringing in the replacements, and that Natalie would ultimately get the final say on who would be going home. The first 2 replacements that walked in were Lexi Gold and Shay, and I was honestly gagged that Shay, I didn't even think about her being on the show, and I was like, no, wait, that could be tea, that could be good. I really hate that the Zeus Network took down I made a full season review talking about the full first season of Baddies Gone Wild, and I hate the fact that the Zeus Network took it. If you guys have beef about that, Brie at the Zeus Network has that. She has that video. Anyway, I wish that I could reference you guys to that video so you guys could know my thoughts and opinions deeper on, like, Shay. But yeah, I was like, wow, I didn't even think about, like, it didn't even cross my mind, like, her, like, what that would look like. But I was like, oh, maybe that would look good. Regardless, I could hardly even get a second to process that and react, because as soon as they walked in, Emery took off on Shay and Kanaya took off on Lexi Gold. Emery did say in an interview that she did this due to Shay trying to kick her in the face at the first Baddies Gone Wild reunion. But if you ask me, I don't like Emery, and the shit that they did to Shay, and some of the other ladies was kind of crazy. It was kind of crazy. I will not lie. It was kind of crazy. Now, Kanaya then explained that her and Lexi used to be friends, but Lexi went on a, quote, smear campaign online shading her, and that's why Kanaya had beef with her. Kanaya and Lexi were able to square up for a second round, which was kind of lame, but at the very least, you could definitely tell Kanaya was trying her best to throw some punches. They did get into a third round that was a little bit better, but security did get involved too quickly, in my opinion. The episode ended as Emery and Shay squared up for a second round. Now, in the next episode, it looks like the other replacements will be Oxy Pearl, which is another one that I didn't even cross my mind for her being on. I was like, wow, I'll be interested to see that as well. And also Erica from the cabaret. I'll have to put a picture of her up because there's so many different Ericas. But Erica from the cabaret. I don't like Erica, actually, like, at all. I do not like Erica. I really don't. That's all I have for you guys today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Definitely subscribe, because when we hit 100 subscribers, I'll be giving you guys a full tier list ranking for the cast of Bad Girls Club. And if you made it all the way to the end, I hope you have a great day, great night, and bye.